Welcome back to Myrna and Jenn, read the Apocrypha. Today, we are in chapter 32 of Jubilees, the Book of Jubilees. Before we talked about Jacob, a little bit about his vision, and Levi receiving a dream of the priesthood. Oh no, he was chosen and given the blessing that his genealogy would be the bearer of God's priesthood. And
last week it was really just tender and nice because there was this generational thing with Isaac and Jacob and his two sons, Levi and Reuben. Was it Reuben who was there? I think. And it was like they were all in the bed with him because Isaac is getting old. He can't really see. And there was just very tenderness between the men, very tender moments. And Isaac decided to bless his grandsons since they were there.
Yes. It was
a lot of squishy, lovey-dovey.
Yeah. There was a lot of lovey-dovey going on.
Yes, there was.
I know Levi was there.
I'm pretty sure it was Levi and
Judah.
It was Judah. Levi and Judah.
Which both have major roles down the road.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so we're going to get started here. Please, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe. Get us out there. We have fun doing this. We're not doing it because we have to.
No.
We're doing it because we have learned so much. And there's so much in this Apocrypha that I kind of think the world ought to know. I'm not saying everything is real, but you can pray and find out what's real and what's not for yourselves. But there's a lot in here that is real and was just taken away from us out of the Bible that kind of helps frame a little bit more of understanding what's going on in the Bible.
Yes.
The people don't seem so, I can't think of a right word, but they're just that, God says something, they do it. You don't see very many of their mistakes. Right. We see a lot of mistakes in here.
Yes.
But we see how they adjust and grow and change because of those mistakes.
Yes, and we also see God and how he considered, like when Jacob's sons, there I think it was Levi and Reuben who went out. That was they went out and they slaughtered an entire city of people because they stole their the men. They stole their sister Dinah and were inappropriate with her. And they slaughtered all of the men. And yet God was like, Levi, you're going to be, in the priesthood. And like God was okay with it. And yet Jacob has a moment in the scriptures going, I think we're going to have the surrounding area hate us. Maybe that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah. It was interesting to see that God, at least here, and it wasn't even in the Bible. He didn't really chasten him. He didn't really, there was no consequence that they spoke of.
Right.
That that Levi and Reuben got for that.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes you think a little bit. But remember the beginning of the Book of Mormon where he kills
Laban.
There are times when I guess it's justified for the Lord. So it's really hard when I hear people say, oh, God wouldn't do that, because I'm learning a lot more about God in this.
Yes.
Than I ever even really saw in the Bible or in the Book of Mormon. Yeah. So he's not black and white. That is one thing I'm learning. He is not black and white. And so for people to say, oh, well, God wouldn't do that, or God wouldn't expect that from me, or God would this or God that. And I think,
Are you sure you have that right?
Yeah. Are you sure you know the right God? Right. I mean, I think we know God, but I don't know that we really have enough written information to be able to actually know what God would do.
I'm going to agree with you in this moment with that. I think we put a lot of human traits onto God. And I think we sit there and personify him in any way that we want. Oh, he is a ruler with an iron thumb, and it's all about destruction, and you will just die and deserve to die if you do something that you shouldn't. And it's all okay, but does that fully bear out in the scriptures? Is
Right.
that a moment that you're talking about? And what's the context around that moment? Because there are situations here, I think God would have said something and he doesn't. And other ones where he's like, you're one of the righteous men here. Everyone else is into the idolatry. Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are all trying to serve the one God.
Right.
And do they do it perfectly? I don't think they have to do it perfectly. Otherwise, I would have to do it perfectly.
Right. Right. But I think what we learn is that I think what we try to do is we try to make him human.
Yes, and we shouldn't.
And he does have a corporeal body, but he has risen to the level that he is not subject to his human traits. So he's not going to react the way we think he's going to, because we're looking at him as a human who has not overcome his human traits.
Yes. We are constantly humanizing him.
Yeah. And that's what we're here to do. So let's get started. Let's get the party started here.
Let's do this.
All right.
Jubilees.
Jubilee, chapter 32. And here we go, verse 1. And he abode that night at Bethel, and Levi dreamed that he had ordained and made him the priest of the Most High God, him and his sons forever. And he awoke from his sleep and blessed the Lord. And Jacob rose early in the morning on the 14th of this month, and he gave a tithe of all that came with him, both of men and cattle, both of gold and every vessel and garment. Yea, he gave tithes of all. And in those days, Rachel became pregnant with her son Benjamin. And Jacob counted his son from him upwards, and Levi fell to the portion of the Lord. And his father clothed him in the garments of the priesthood and filled his hands.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay, I was going to comment. As I was reading up here, it says he tithed everything, men and cattle.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was interesting that, we were just talking about this. We assumed that God wouldn't do things like that, but he is tithing men.
Yes.
What they do, how that works, I don't really know. I don't believe God would put them in slavery, so I don't know what that means. But then here, Levi, from counting his kids, Levi ends up being the one that has to be portioned off to the Lord for his tithe. So Levi is dedicated to the Lord.
Literally dedicated.
Kind of like a mission.
The Lord.
Like he's on a mission the rest of his life.
Wow. That's so interesting, the language around that.
Yeah, because we did not get that in the Bible.
No, we did not get that in the Bible.
But I kind of that kind of gives new meaning to tithing. Yeah. Does it not?
It kind of does.
Because a lot of people talk about the difference between gross and net.
Yeah. That one's new.
I think this kind of answers it.
It does kind of answer that. And I wonder if, too, it's a form of consecration.
Oh, absolutely.
You consecrate your household, you consecrate all to the Lord. And in this case, it included his children. And so he gave him Levi as the priesthood bearer.
Yeah.
To be the head of the ordinances and all of that.
And it makes total sense, because they carried a tabernacle with them.
Correct.
Someone had to do the ordinances. It
Correct.
couldn't always be Jacob.
Nope.
He's got things he's got to do, right? So I kind of like that, but it kind of also tells me that
also sits weird.
It's both. Well, the men part sits weird.
Yeah.
The Levi part doesn't sit weird with me. It kind of tells me that we shouldn't only be paying tithing on what we take home. We should be paying it on what is included in taxes. That's what it says to me, but that's just me.
Well, and the nice thing here, though, is as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we have prophets and apostles who can guide us in what that is. But
they don't. They leave it to us.
They usually say just increase.
Mm-hmm.
And people have kind of said this is what that kind of means, but it does give you pause. If these scriptures here don't give you pause to say, I might need to relook at that in my life. What is it going to hurt you to relook at that? That's so interesting. So we also have Benjamin born to Rachel. So she's given birth to Joseph and Benjamin.
Yes.
Okay. We're getting the group together.
Yeah, Joseph, I think
it was already born.
Was the youngest.
Oh, was Joseph
until Benjamin came.
I
could be wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Joseph and then Benjamin.
All right.
Let's see what happens here with Levi.
4.
And on the 5th of this month, he brought to the altar.
15th.
Oh, on the 15th of this month, he brought to the altar 14 oxen from amongst the cattle, and 28 rams, and 49 sheep, and 7 lambs, and 21 kids of the goats as a burnt offering on the altar of sacrifice, well pleasing for a sweet savor before God. This was his offering in consequence of the vow which he had vowed that he would give a tenth with their fruit offerings and their drink offerings. And when the fire had consumed it, he burnt incense on the fire over the fire, and for a thank offering 2 oxen and 4 rams and 4 sheep, 4 he-goats and 2 sheep of a year old and 2 kids of the goats. And thus he did daily for 7 days.
Okay, again, he's got to have many animals, because he has to do this for 7 days. Now, it says he did that for 7 days, but 4, 5, 6, did he do the one on the top in verse 4, 7 days also, or did he do that one and then his thank offering is what he did for 7 days?
Yeah, he did. So he was killing 14 animals every day for the thank offering. That's a lot of animals. I didn't even count the one up above. Like, that is so. Yeah, it is a question. It seems like he did the vow one and then he gave thanks for 7 days.
Yeah. You said how many animals?
I think it's 14 for the thank offering.
I think it's 18.
1, 2. Oh, I missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You're correct. I missed a couple in there. 18 animals every day. 18 times 7 is 126. That is a lot in a week.
You can't do this very often.
You would think not,
because you got to wait for the herd to replenish.
That herd must take, like, that must be ginormous.
Yeah. And it goes with them. That's the thing that I have learned from this Apocrypha that I had never really noticed from the Bible. Was I knew they moved around, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I didn't know that the whole household and all the animals and all the manservants and all the maidservants and all the whatever,
all of it
just moved with them.
Walk. Everywhere we go. That's
a lot of people.
That is a lot of thankfulness.
And a lot of thankfulness, yeah.
That is a lot of butchering.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those guys are Levi's family became expert butchers.
Oh, absolutely. Because it wasn't just butchering like you would to eat them.
No.
It was done special. And I don't remember it now, but it talked about it. All right.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
crazy. Let's move on and see what they do. And he and all his sons and his men were eating with joy there during 7 days, and blessing and thanking the Lord who had delivered him out of all his tribulation and had given him his vow. And he tithed all the clean animals and made a burnt offering, but the unclean animals he gave not to Levi his son, and he gave him all the souls of the men. And Levi just discharged the priestly office at Bethel before Jacob his father, in preference to his 10 brothers, and he was a priest there, and Jacob gave his vow. Thus he tithed again the tithe to the Lord and sacrificed it and became holy unto him. Okay, I'm confused.
Okay. So they were having a great feast and thanking the Lord who had delivered him out of all his tribulation, because he had had a fight with Esau. He had had a fight with Shechem. And like, that was a lot of tribulation. And he had given him his vow. And he tithed all the clean animals were tithed. So 10% went to be sacrificed. And he made a burnt sacrifice with them. But the unclean animals, he couldn't give them to Lehi. And he gave him all the souls of the men. I almost think that says, and he gave all of those to the men to eat. That's how I'm interpreting that.
No, but he doesn't give him the animals.
He gives Levi the clean ones. Well, or Jacob himself burns them.
Yeah, he does not give him the unclean animals.
Right. Just the clean ones.
Oh, no, here's what they said. Now I get it.
Okay.
He says he's tithing the clean animals, which he gives to Levi. So he has some unclean animals. I don't know why he mentions that, but he has unclean animals. But he gives Levi also the men that he tithes.
But he tithes the men. So if he has 100 men, he gives 10 of them to Levi.
Yes.
There you go. Thank you.
I believe that's what that's saying.
And then Levi discharges his priestly office.
Yeah.
And they give more sacrifices, again, tithe to the Lord, and sacrificed it and became holy unto him. So they did it one more time, and now everything is good.
Okay. Now I see it.
That was good. That was good. I missed that. Yes. He also tithed the men. That's just such an interesting way of talking about it. He tithed the men. Because I don't think that they were in slavery. They were being housed and fed, and it's not like I don't picture them being whipped and all of that. I don't think this is where you want to go. I don't think God would be okay with that. But I almost feel like these are indentured servants. Where you've agreed to be a servant. He owns you in a way because he's supposed to feed and house and teach you things.
And you were given to him.
So in that way,
it's an interesting concept.
It is. I don't think we have anything, at least I don't recognize on the outside, on the surface of this, anything that we have in that regard, except maybe an indentured servant currently in the world.
Yeah. And I know that when people came over from England, they did do indentured service.
Yes.
But it was their choice. They chose to come. They weren't made to come. So I don't know if that even fits here, because We don't have anything here that says that these men volunteered.
No, we don't on that. And yet when it got to the point of being circumcised, everyone in his household, if you were not willing to be circumcised, you were let go.
Yeah.
So they had a choice to stay with Abraham, but if they did, they were going to get circumcised.
Right. But here it doesn't tell us.
No.
We don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he did say, okay, I have so many of you guys and I have to do a tithe. So I have to give so many of you to God. So I'm going to give you all a chance to take that offer. If that's what you want to do, after that, I will just pick who it will be.
Right.
We don't know if that wasn't done because this doesn't say anything, and it very well possibly could have been.
Right.
So I don't, but it doesn't say enough to be able to say that it was a voluntary thing.
Right. And it could just be that, remember, we've talked recently about oaths and taking a vow and what that actually meant, right? So maybe they took an oath to Jacob to be his servant, and therefore he is their master. And if he says that you are going to go to Levi, then you're going to go to Levi.
But remember, he said he counted his sons and it fell upon Levi.
Yeah, it's true.
So did he keep track of in what order these men came into his thing? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you come over here. 20, you come over here. We don't even know if that's not what they did, because that is how he figured out which one of his children to give.
Yeah. He was the 10th child. It's true. He could have just lined them all up, and whatever order that was, the every 10, right? Every 10th person. Okay. So Levi discharged. So 10. We're in 10 here. Yes. And for this reason, it is ordained on the heavenly tablets as a law for the tithing again, the tithe to eat before the Lord from year to year, in the place where it is chosen that his name should dwell. And to this law there is no limit of days forever. This ordinance is written that it may be fulfilled from year to year in eating the second tithe before the Lord in the place where it has been chosen, and nothing shall remain over from it from this year to the year following. For in its year shall the seed be eaten till the days of the gathering of the seed of the year, and the wine till the days of the wine, and the oil till the days of its season. So it almost seems like you're supposed to take a 10th of all of your harvest, and you have a feast where you eat some of those where you eat the tithes, where God has chosen in the place that you find, and you will forever be doing that.
And it sounds like you do it once a year.
Yeah, that you do it once a year. Before, and it will be eaten till the days of the gathering of the seed. So it almost seems like a fall festival. You have a big festival Thanksgiving party, and then the seeds are ready to be harvested, and then you're good for a year. That's a lot of food.
And so there's a days of the seed, there's a days of the wine, and there's a days
of the gathering of the oil.
So I know that they, at least in the life of Adam and Eve, they talked a lot about being able to follow the sky.
Yeah.
And so to me, they're very aware of the world around them, right?
The times and the seasons.
Yeah. And I think without really, like, I think for us, it's just the weather we look at.
Right.
Unless you're a farmer.
Right.
It's like, okay, snow's coming. Right. Oh, it's warming up. Snow's starting to melt. And it just it's just the weather that we kind of follow our lives by. At least I do. But if you're a farmer, if you're a rancher, there's other things that you look at to determine when you need to do things on your ranch, or you need to do things on your farm.
Yeah, they are keenly aware.
And all that is left thereof and becomes old, let it be regarded as polluted. Let it be burnt with fire, for it is unclean. And thus let it together, let them eat it together in the sanctuary, and let them not suffer it to become old. And all the tithes of the oxen and sheep shall be holy unto the Lord, and shall belong to his priests, which they will eat before him from year to year. For thus it is ordained and engraven regarding the tithe on the heavenly tablets. So basically, this is how he is feeding
the priests, because
and
they
kind
do
of
not
clothing his priesthood.
Yes, because they do not do the jobs the same as their brothers.
Yeah.
So instead, he's basically said, here's a tithe on that, and it will go to Levi and his priests. Okay, that makes it's kind of like missionary, right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't have, per se, you don't have to pay for things, but it will be provided.
Right.
That was a lot about tithes.
Yeah.
And again, it's on the heavenly tablets. That means it is physically written. Interesting.
Right. And when it began in Jubilee with Abraham, it was written that it was a commandment never to be ended. There's no end to this law of tithing.
Interesting.
Okay, 16.
And on the following night, on the 22nd day of this month, Jacob resolved to build that place and to surround the court with a wall and to sanctify it and make it holy forever for himself and his children after him. And the Lord appeared to him by night and blessed him and said unto him, Thy name shall not be called Jacob, but Israel shall they name thy name. And he said unto him again, I am the Lord who created the heaven and the earth, and I will increase thee and multiply thee exceedingly. And kings shall come forth from thee, and they shall judge everywhere, wherever the foot of the sons of men has trodden. All right, so here's the moment. Jacob is now Israel. He's been given a new name.
If you look at some of the things that are happening here.
Yep, I know.
It is reminiscent of a temple ceremony.
Correct.
In which you get a new name.
Correct.
It's interesting once you see it once.
Yes, you can.
The pattern.
Yes, you can.
Always, right?
Yes.
He became God's.
Yep.
Actual person, so to speak, right? God knew he could trust him, and God changed his name.
Yep. He is on further down the path.
Right.
In covenant with him.
Let's see. 19. And I will give to thy seed all the earth which is under heaven, and they shall judge all the nations according to their desires. And after that, they shall get possession of the whole earth and inherit it forever. And he finished speaking with him, and he went up from him, and Jacob looked till he had ascended into heaven. And he saw in a vision of the night, and behold, an angel descended from heaven with 7 tablets in his hands, and he gave them to Jacob. And he read them, and knew all that was written therein, which would befall him and his sons throughout all the ages.
Interesting. 7 tablets, 7 dispensations.
7 dispensations.
It seems to me, anyways.
It does to me too.
And that, by the way, is one way to define a prophet, is that he actually gets to see basically the beginning from the end. Somewhat. He has this vision of things that will occur down the road, and his name was changed. So in this place, I feel like he is having that moment of, you are now vowed to God and you are the prophet.
Right. It would absolutely fit. And I love that God was with him. And he said he looked, Jacob looked till he had ascended into heaven.
Yep.
He never took his eyes off Christ.
Yep.
Just like we're never supposed to.
22. And he showed him all that was written on the tablets and said unto him, do not build this place, and do not make it an eternal sanctuary, and do not dwell here, for this is not the place. Go to the house of Abraham thy father, and dwell with Isaac thy father until the day of the death of thy father. For in Egypt thou shalt die in peace, and in this land thou shalt be buried with honor in the sepulchre of thy father with Abraham and Isaac. Fear not, for as thou hast seen and read it, thus shall it all be. And do thou write down everything as thou hast seen and read.
Okay, this is very interesting because I watched a video of this Jewish rabbi. I think he's a rabbi who does tours in Israel.
Yeah.
And the cave that Abraham and Sarah were buried in is there. They've built a little sanctuary over the top of it. But Abraham, Sarah, Isaac,
Rachel?
No,
Jacob?
the other one, Leah.
Oh, Leah is buried there?
Rachel's not with Isaac.
Oh, interesting.
Leah is. And I wonder if it's because it was the first marriage. And Jacob is there. And I'm trying to remember which one of his wives was buried with him. I can't remember, but I thought that was really interesting that they were all there, and they're still they have little gates over it with their names on them, so you can't actually get to the the
actual
I don't know
part.
if they're actually sarcophaguses. I can't remember what they're called, where the bones actually are. And I thought that was interesting that that's still there. And they still protect it, and they honor it, and the people go there all the time. The guy says, this is a holy sanctuary, so we'll go in, and I will talk really softly. You'll have to be close so that you can hear, but we don't want to disturb the others that are in here. And it was amazing. It made me say, the next place I want to go, I wish I had the money to go to Israel.
I agree.
I would go see so many of these things that I'm finding videos about. It's just, it's amazing to me. But he actually does. That is actually what ends up happening. And we'll, I'm sure, see how that goes. But he is buried with his father.
Interesting. I mean, I make that assumption by reading this because I believe the basic tenets of the scriptures are true. And why would you have a problem saying where someone was buried, that he was buried with Abraham and Isaac? But to know that that is still honored and considered a holy site and revered is exactly what this is saying. That it will be.
So it has been fulfilled. Okay, 25.
And this is mine or yours?
No, it's mine because you just read. And Jacob said, Lord, how can I remember all that I have read and seen? And he said unto him, I will bring all things to thy remembrance. And he went up from him, and he awoke from his sleep, and he remembered everything which he had read and seen, and he wrote down all the words which he had read and seen. And he celebrated there yet another day, and he sacrificed thereon according to all that he sacrificed on the former days, and called its name Addition. For this day was added, and the former days he called the feast. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we're sacrificing more.
Yes, we are. And they have a name for it, the feast, and I guess
Addition.
Like gave an addition. But he did remember everything, and he wrote it down, so he had it. Very wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. 28.
And thus it was manifested that it should be, and it is written on the heavenly tablets, wherefore it was revealed to him that he should celebrate it and add it to the 7 days of the feast. And its name was called addition, because that it was recorded amongst the days of the feast days according to the number of the days of the year. And in the night, on the 23rd of this month, Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and they buried her beneath the city under the oak of the river. And he called the name of this place the river of Deborah, and the oak of the morning of Deborah. They really like to name things, by the way.
Yeah, they do. Okay, so Rebecca is the one that's buried there.
That would be Isaac's wife.
Is that Isaac's wife?
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob was the one
with Leah and Rachel.
Okay. Yeah, Rachel's the one that ends up with Jacob, but it's Rebecca that is buried there. That's interesting. They just name things by the people that are there, or you die there, so they name you, or you're born there, so they name it.
And the river associated with Deborah mentioned here in the Bible story is still there and is known as the Kishon River. It's a perennial stream in Israel that flows through the Jezreel Valley, running roughly west-northwesterly and emptying into the Haifa Bay. So it still exists.
Wow. All right. I love when things stick like that.
I know, right? A lot of this section seems to stick.
Yeah. All right. 31. And Rebecca went and returned to her house to his father Isaac, and Jacob sent by her hand rams and sheep and he-goats, that she should prepare a meal for his father, such as he desired. And he went after his mother till he came to the land of Cabreton, and he dwelt there. And Rachel bare a son in the night, and called his name Son of My Sorrow, for she suffered in giving him birth. But his father called his name Benjamin. On the 11th of the 8th month, in the first of the 6th week of this Jubilee. And Rachel died there, and she was buried in the land of Ephrath, I guess. The same is Bethlehem. And Jacob built a pillar on the grave of Rachel on the road above her grave.
Okay. So did Rachel die before Isaac?
Died in childbirth.
In childbirth. Oh, man. That is Son of My Sorrow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then I'm curious in...
Oh, and she was just buried right there. That's why she's not in the cave.
That's why, because they just buried her right there. So Benjamin, he called his name Benjamin, which would be translate to son of the right hand.
Oh, okay. Because he's the baby.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so if his name was Son of Sorrow, right? It would have been Ben Oni. But he said it was but for him, it was the son of his right hand. It was his last child. So he called him Benjamin, not Ben Oni.
Wow. Okay. There was a lot packed in there, but not a lot to talk about.
Right. There was a lot of disinformation. A lot of people, a lot about tithing, a lot about Levi and taking that on, and the tithing.
A lot of sacrificing of animals.
A lot of animals. And we see this multi-generational space that they keep holding, that he goes to see his father Isaac and Rebecca, and Rebecca dies, and then his own wife Rachel dies in giving childbirth on the road, and they bury her there. There's nothing to be done. She's probably in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
And then we get Benjamin, the last child.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
That was all sad. Interesting, sad. Cool. It's like a mixture of it all.
It is. It is. But those who are watching, if you notice, there's a lot of information here that you'll learn.
Yes.
Right. And that's what we're talking about. That's why we enjoy doing this. We learn a lot of things. And none of that, I don't think, would be like controversial, whether it's true, whether it's not. Most of it is backed up in a way by the Bible, right? There's some detail that is not. And so, but I think that you just see something different. You see God in a different way. So please come with us again next week as we go on to chapter 33 and learn some more about Jacob and his family. I don't know what else to say, but come, be filled with the Spirit and be in the scriptures as we've been asked to do. So thank you for coming. Hit the like button, subscribe, and thanks for coming. And like we always say,
Apocrypha rules.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.